Hey guys, Strong Style Studios back here again with another episode of Running the Ropes. This is our second episode and Justin's first, actually. How does it feel to be a part of the show?
It feels great.
Okay.
I don't know, it feels a little weird with you.
Yeah, I think it's better with just two of us.
Yeah.
Might have to replace him.
We'll see.
Okay.
This is a trial session
yeah,
for me.
this is,
You're running the ropes.
Yes.
Oh, my back.
Okay. First of all, we want to cover one thing real quick. We forgot to mention this in our Rumble review. We actually did a fun little thing where we picked numbers, and I think the rule was like you had to like root for those guys, and if you want, and if they won, and like I think we had to pick one number in particular that you would root for the entire year. Who wants to go first with their numbers?
Well, I think Justin, it would be good for you to start.
Yeah. At first, I don't remember what my numbers were exactly.
I got
17.
I got them right here.
Okay. Yeah. Oh no, it wasn't 17. Was it?
Yes, you were 17.
Oh, it's out of order.
Some professional.
I picked 17, and it was The Godfather, who was in for about 2 seconds.
Yeah.
And a 2-person hoe train, which isn't really a hoe train.
That ain't a whole train. That's
It's
a
kind of disappointing.
Right.
Then number 25, the one person I'm rooting for the entire year is Zack Ryder.
woo, yeah. I got a Zack Ryder shirt for you. You can have.
Oh, great. I'm going to wear it every time I watch Shoulders now. And then finally, at number 28, I had The Miz, who I don't have to root for at least, but
Yeah.
none of them
Okay.
had much of a chance of winning.
I'm gonna say what mine are because mine are just hilarious. I think. I had number 5, which turned out to be Santino. Disappointing, I guess. But
No chance there.
then the number 9 was my pick to root for, and I got David fucking Otunga. Which
So he's going to be a big David Otunga fan for the rest of the year.
Yep.
don't count on that. Yeah. And then number 22 was actually a good pick. I got Cesaro, which I'm sure you're very disappointed in.
Yes, I wish I could have rooted for him all year. But
I know.
Yeah.
And then there are your picks. Yeah.
all right.
you got some good ones too.
Yeah. He
My
picked
first
the, he
pick-
picked the. Oh, never mind.
My first pick was number 13
Yeah.
because I thought, unlucky 13, it's got to be lucky
Right.
sometime, right? No. I got Brodus Clay, so that was a rough start. That was a rough start.
Yeah.
But then I decided, you know what, I'm gonna go for another number a little bit lower than the 20s. I had a little bit of a strategy.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what, let's go with 19. I don't want to stay out of the 20s too much. Okay, 19. John Cena.
Yeah,
He won.
He won the bet.
He won.
I won.
Yeah, we didn't win. We didn't bet any money this year, but we'll do that next year.
Yeah, maybe.
If we have any money.
Well, $1, But yeah, so he won the bet for the Rumble. Who's your last pick? The one that you got to root for the rest of the
For
year.
the rest of the year, I had to root for the great Khali. I couldn't pick a worse possible person.
And you got at least my guy won't win, but at least I like him well.
I fucking hate it. Me and Luke got shit. We got jack shit.
And I got jobber of
yeah,
the
you
year,
got
so
jobber of the year. So nice job. Okay.
maybe next year we'll get good picks.
Yeah, maybe next.
Oh,
Hopefully.
Let's just remind people that last year I got Jack Swagger, so
I had Road Dog.
I had Hacksaw Jim Duggan. He hasn't been back since.
So between with our rooting interest, we haven't had a single one. That's
Yeah.
any good. Yeah.
We got horrible picks. All right. Well, this is an episode of Running the Ropes. We're going to be talking about ROH, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Kobashi, and the Wrestling Observer Awards, and just what our thoughts are on the winners. So, start this right about ROH. I want to talk about this thing real quick. ROH is going to be doing a TV taping at WrestleMania weekend on the Saturday show at afternoon. What do you guys think of that?
It's after the day after the pay per view.
Yes, they're doing Showdown or Supercard of Honor. I think it'd be 7 on Friday night, and then they're doing a TV taping on Saturday afternoon.
Well, I don't know. It could go a couple ways, but I think what they're trying to do is that they're having they want this. They're getting the pay-per-view crowd for the night before, and then
Yep.
maybe some of those more hardcore pay-per-view fans will stick around for the TV taping. Attendance will probably be pretty good, and probably get a good crowd. I just question if they're going to be burnt out or not from the previous night.
What, the crowd or the wrestlers?
The crowd
Oh.
and the wrestlers,
Well,
I guess, who are actually.
The thing is with WrestleMania weekend is like you're guaranteed to have fans there no matter what because it's wrestling. It's like, okay, I'll go watch this, and so So smart decision, just like because like I think the tickets were like $5 for the TV taping, so it's like you make some money and you're gonna sell that place out probably.
Yeah, that'll probably be the best TV crowd.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I also liked it just because that way like all the matches for WrestleMania weekend are on one card, so it's literally a super card, and so they can put all their attention onto booking one show, and then plus if they have to do it in the afternoon, so maybe Gabe will do Dragon Gate USA on Saturday night, and that way they don't have to run against each other, and wrestling fans can enjoy both companies. Mm-hmm. Hopefully. Okay, and let's talk about. There are 3 matches announced for the ROH 11th anniversary show, which is going to be taking place in Chicago, which we are actually talking about making a trip out there for.
We're going to try and make it out there.
I think we need to with these matches they've announced. First match, Roderick Strong versus Michael Elgin in a 2 out of 3 falls match.
That should be very.
That should be really good.
Yeah,
I mean, Roddy, he's got stamina. He can go for days.
Elgin can go too. Yeah.
And Elgin, for a big guy, he's definitely able to last.
Yeah. He made it through the Battle of Los Angeles, so you got to give him credit for that.
Right. The only reason I say that is because you look back and Roddy, remember his match with Edwards? That was a long match.
That was great.
He can have long matches that don't get boring. He had matches in 2006 with Dragon, hour-long matches, and a lot of guys can't last an hour without
getting winded
and without kind of running out of things that I want to see. So that should be very good.
Yeah, that should be really good. Any thoughts to add, Justin?
Yeah. After they had the opening match at Final Battle, and it was a good match, but it's like made me want to see a lot more from these guys. And 2 out of 3 falls, give plenty of time for them to show their stuff. And these guys are both great workers. They're going to come out with some crazy stuff. And what I'm hoping to see out of this match is, more of a sense of their rivalry, which I felt was missing a little bit in their Final Battle match.
Okay.
So hopefully we'll see more of that. I think this is going to be a really great match.
I think so too. Second match, which we're going to take it with the main event, is because I think we're going to talk about the Dream match a little bit more. They've announced that Kevin Steen versus Jay Lethal will happen for the ROH World title. And I would not be surprised if Jay Lethal wins the belt on the 11th anniversary show.
No, I wouldn't be surprised at all.
And I'm kind of torn because I like Jay as a worker. I think he's a very good worker. I think I'm glad to see ROH finally pushing this guy who's been very criminally underused in a lot of other promotions. So it's nice, but at the same time, I don't think he's the right guy to beat Steen for the belt. Which is my opinion. I think I'd rather have it be Elgin, but who knows? Could go either way, and I'm sure no matter what, I think we'll enjoy the match.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. I don't think Lethal should be champion yet. Maybe down the road sometime.
Yeah.
He's got the name. He's got the charisma for sure.
He's athletic as hell.
Oh,
he's athletic. So yeah, he fits the role pretty well. But just in terms of like storyline wise, and then I just don't see him being like a champion who really likes Steen, who just. He wouldn't be like a dominant champion at all.
I'd kind of see him as like James Gibson was as champion, like a solid worker that the crowd's behind, but not really one that you think is going to be a long-lasting champion.
Yeah, I mean,
when I see Lethal, what worries me is that I think the crowd's going to turn on him.
Oh, I think so too.
Yeah. I think it would behoove him to bring back a little bit of the machismo, not a lot, just a little bit, to spice it up, and maybe even win the belt and turn heel. Because then they don't have a chance. The crowd doesn't have a chance to turn on him, and then he can bring that that flair. Yeah. Have a little flair. He's a champion, and he's better than you.
It played that whole killer instincts thing.
And nobody cared about him when he was banned from getting a title shot, and when Steen spit on his mother, we threw trash in the ring. Screw the fans.
That's a good idea.
And then you have a heel that Elgin could take the belt off.
Instead of
Adam
Steen,
Cole, who's way over.
Yeah.
Well, also, going along with that, but I think they could do it where he doesn't win the belt and becomes even more frustrated because he already is. And or if they wanted to keep him face, he could be like the underdog who keeps coming close. Which the only problem with that is they've done it so much. But I feel like Lethal would be like the right guy to do that.
Lethal would be a believable.
If they hadn't done it with like Tyler Black and Davey Richards already,
people get tired of it pretty fast.
Which is unfortunate because I think it would work for him. But
okay, and then the next match we want to talk about is the dream match that ROH has put together, which is the American Wolves, Eddie Edwards and Davey Richards taking on New Japan Pro Wrestling Team, Forever Hooligans, Alex Kozlov, and Rocky Romero. I'm super hyped for this match. I think this could be a show stealer.
This should be a great match. This should be a lot of fun. It's probably going to be fast paced.
Oh, it's gonna be fast.
It's going to be balls to the wall, and these guys know each other so well.
Yeah,
Davey and Rocky used to be part of the No Remorse Corps, and they were the tag champions, and those matches were fun.
Yeah, they were actually tag team champions in New Japan not too long ago either.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah.
And as for Kozlov, he can go. He's a very talented guy.
WWE was really stupid to let him go. Very talented guy.
That was kind of. I was surprised by that.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of charisma. I would love to see more of him in ROH.
I'm looking forward to the Russia chants and the Russian dance kicks to the head. I'm looking forward to this match a lot, and hopefully this is a sign of things to come with them bringing outside talent in, maybe even from New Japan, hopefully, because that's one thing I miss about Ring of Honor was bringing in talent from all over the world and bringing them into one place and showing what they can do.
Yep.
So hopefully we'll see more of that. Next up, we got to talk about PWG's All Star Weekend 9, which is taking place March 2nd, 22nd, and 23rd. Already a few names announced. Obviously, you got Steen, you got Willie Mack, you got Adam Cole, you got the Smash Bros. You got a lot of guys already announced, but a few new guys are going to make their debut and return here. You will have Paul London making his return to PWG, which I'm kind of excited for that because I want to see if the guy can still do it. If he's still can go. AR Fox will be making his PWG debut, as will Samurai Del Sol. Jay Lethal actually that could be really good for him, I think.
Yeah, I think that will help him.
Yeah, and Johnny Gargano will be making his debut as well, which I'm very happy about that. We got Ronan in PWG now.
Ronan, baby.
Yes, I knew that was coming. And the first match that's already been announced will be Sami Callihan and Drake Younger in a guerrilla warfare match on the end of night 1.
Nasty.
The winner gets a title shot. Someone's gonna fucking die.
That's gonna be brutal.
You know that he's gonna be. Why did I just forget his name? Younger is gonna be taking some nasty.
God, he
nasty
is
bumps.
insane, man. He is literally.
And Sammy will oblige him because he will break you.
I will say right now, I want to throw this out here real quick. I talked about it on earlier. One match I'm kind of hoping that maybe they'll put together. I doubt it's going to happen with all the guys they already got announced, but I want to see the Young Bucks versus the Time Splitters from New Japan Pro Wrestling. I want to see that. That'd be an awesome match.
Sweet.
And Alex Shelley said he'd come back for that match alone for PWG, which so
make it happen. I'm excited for Gargano to be in PWG and see what he can do there because he's
I don't
awesome.
see him enough,
Oh yeah, he's been very talented in Dragon Gate USA.
And Dragon Gate makes it so
he's kind of
hard
the man
to see their damn shows.
Yeah, they did.
They never come out on DVD.
Yeah, I want it. That's the thing. Like you see him all the time in Chikara, but
he doesn't really get it.
While Fist is an awesome tag team and they have a lot of great matches, it's like I want to see more of Johnny just one-on-one, and it would help him with his craft and become even better than he already is, which he's already awesome.
He's definitely one of the top guys.
There's a lot of dream matches that we have yet to see that couldn't happen in PWG.
Roddy versus Johnny.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome.
Lots of great potential matches.
I tell you what, man, AR Fox and Samurai Del Sol, those guys are gonna fucking blow away that California crowd. They're gonna go nuts for those two guys.
Plus, I want to see, since you don't get to see him like in ROH, him versus some ROH guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
That would be awesome.
I mean, Fist versus the Smash Bros. That'd become cool. I don't know. There's a lot.
Endless possibilities.
Johnny Gargano versus Eddie Edwards. How about that?
Yeah.
So all those guys going into PWG, that's gonna be really awesome.
That's what's great about PWG is they can get people from all over and they can put these dream.
People want to go
together.
to PWG.
Exactly. Yeah. And I want to touch again on Jay Lethal being brought in, and I think that a lot of people on the East Coast and ROH fans have kind of soured on him just because we see where everything's going and we see him in this one light, and we've seen it this way for so long.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to turn a lot of people's perspectives around if he goes out there and he just has a bunch of blowaway matches and the crowd's eating him up. I think that'll do a lot for his image on the East Coast.
Plus, having him against a variety of opponents, he's kind of been, facing similar guys.
Yeah.
So just have him against,
I think we can all agree that there's nothing negative that can come out of this show. Like these shows are going to be really great.
I don't think so.
The usual.
Yep.
PWG,
and the Unbreakable Fucking Machines will be there, as will the Inner City Machine Guns, or two fly black guys, as I call them. I'm sticking to that name, man. All right. Let's talk about some New Japan Pro Wrestling. New Japan Pro Wrestling is going global.
Yes, they are.
They're working on an English website, which would be of blessing for us.
Yeah.
And they're also, I think they're doing one in Spanish too, and they're also like reaching out and like going to be doing broadcasting their shows in I think England, Spain, and a couple other European countries.
Brazil.
Yeah.
Even. So it's going to be great. I think this is going to help them a lot.
Oh yeah.
Especially, I mean, definitely with the exposure over here, they must have seen that the iPay-per-views were cashing in all over the place, and that's why they decided to do this.
People are staying up till 3 o'clock in the morning to watch their shows. That's a big bonus right there.
I don't blame them. They're fantastic shows. I love this idea.
And I think it's good business because I think New Japan is of any company in Japan is most prepared to get into other markets.
I agree.
Expose themselves to other markets. More marketable, I guess is the right word.
I would love them to come to the U.S. and do some shows here.
Do a tour here. I think it would go.
They did one back a while ago, apparently. Like back in like 2010 or 2011, they did a few shows out here.
Oh yeah, but that was. I think this once they have a chance to expand, and they can come over and have a bigger show. I think that'd be great for them, and I think that'd be great for the wrestling community.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe get some of those New Japan guys some chances to shine elsewhere too. You know.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Nakamura, the IWGP Intercontinental Champion, has announced that he's willing to defend the title anywhere in any promotion.
And that's going to be really.
That's really awesome.
I always love when people do that with belts. I think that it really raises the prestige of a belt when you're willing to defend it anywhere.
Like what Daniel Bryan did when he was the ROH champion.
Or, what Samoa Joe did.
Yeah,
first.
Samoa Joe too. Oh, that's right.
And,
Samoa Joe did too.
Aries also.
Okay.
He traveled everywhere.
You're right. I apologize.
So I think that really helps add to credibility of a belt.
And Nakamura's one of the best they got.
Oh yeah, he's one of the best in the world.
Oh yeah. I'd love to see him come out to the U.S. and do some shows out here. You know.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know,
there's some dream matches they could have.
There's a lot of dream matches you can have.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a very exciting news, and hopefully.
I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
But what I like about that is this is the Intercontinental Championship. It's not the top belt of the company, but they're trying to add. They're making what it could be otherwise would be a secondary belt into an important belt that people are actually coming after. People all over the world are going to want to come after this belt, and it's not even the top belt in the company. Adding prestige to
that's really cool.
And it's cool that it's a dynamic. Like they take their top belt and it is a world title, but they're going to defend it with their top guys.
Yeah, exactly.
And so you're getting your top guys over, but then you have this other belt that you're going to have defended all over the world. I like how it's two different things. You can see the difference between the belts.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of times where a secondary belt, if you build it up too high, what's the difference between that and the world title? And then there's other companies that don't build it up enough, and it just looks like a throwaway.
But I like the idea so much of the guy building up the belt, not the belt building up the guy.
Yes.
Because that happens too much. You see in other companies where they just give a guy a belt and assume that makes him over. This is him.
WWE.
Well, I didn't want to name names here. But just, it's kind of like an old school thing that you don't see very often. It used to be guys like, like back in WWF, like Macho Man took like the Intercontinental Championship and built it up, made that a desired title.
Yeah.
You just don't see that a whole lot anymore, and belts meaning something has been fading for a while. So this is a step in the right direction here.
Yeah, very good. I hope more promotions follow suit. Next up, we're talking about Kenta Kobashi. His retirement match has been officially announced for May 11th.
It's gonna be emotional for me.
Yeah, it's gonna be a sad day for wrestling.
Kobashi is my all-time favorite wrestler to come out of Japan. One of my top 5 all-time favorite. One of the greatest wrestlers of all time by any measure.
I mean, you can't even argue that.
He is in a lot of ways made. He was one of the aces of All Japan during its heyday. He helped make Noah what it was. Unfortunately, it's been mismanaged a bit. But he's helped make Japanese wrestling what it is. He's an icon.
I think
he helped make ROH what it is.
Yeah.
If the first time he ever went to the United States was for a match in ROH against Samoa Joe, and
blew the
legendary
roof off.
match.
Yep.
I have never seen a match that a crowd was more hot for, and like they were chanting, "This is awesome!" in the first minute of the match.
That's one of the best matches of the last decade.
Yeah,
it's a great match.
And also to think about, this is also more because he's gone through so much. He's had cancer, so many injuries that he's battled through, and this will be his final match. I was just wondering, maybe we should. Do you guys want to speculate on who he might be facing?
I'm not really knowledgeable on Noah and like what guys are out there. I think what was the guy?
Jun Akiyama would be my choice.
Definitely a good send off.
I would love very much if he stopped in ROH to say goodbye to just as out of out of respect, because ROH was a bit. I think ROH kind of introduced him to the more of North Americans than he'd been previously exposed to. I think a lot more people found out who he was because of his time in ROH. So I'd like if he went to ROH and stopped by just to say goodbye, maybe.
I really don't think that's.
I doubt it, but you never know. Hopefully, maybe one day. But I have no idea. But obviously, any match he's going to be in is going to be great, and I think it's going to be a special night for that. For sure.
And that's something that people should go out of the way to see, just because it's going to be an important moment in pro wrestling.
It's not going to be like a classic match, but it'll have a great feel to it, lots of emotion, and
it's very important.
It's a
get to see someone get their.
It's kind of like a passing of an era, because you still got Akiyama from the Aces, but you don't have those guys really at the forefront anymore.
Yeah.
So
it's crazy. You look back at the guys that he wrestled, and Masawa's gone. He's passed, and he's kind of the pinnacle head of those guys now, and he's leaving. He's gone.
So it's almost like a variation of WWE's end of an era thing they did at last WrestleMania. Where.
It is kind of the end of that era,
Yeah. Last time I would see someone get their chest chopped to shit by Kobashi.
Yep, and he'll probably even
he'll do it.
Of that.
Oh yeah. Well, whatever Kobashi does in the rest of his life, we wish him the best of luck.
Absolutely,
truly.
And thank you for everything. That
Thank you. Legendary wrestler for sure. I'd hope maybe one day, out of respect, that he would induct him in the Hall of Fame.
That's never gonna happen.
Although I think Kobashi would probably turn him down, but you never know. Maybe one day someone will wise up in WWE. All right, let's talk about the Pro Wrestling Observer Awards. We gave our awards not too long ago, but let's talk about who they picked. The Ric Flair Award went to Tanahashi for the second year in a row. Not surprising, I think.
Nope.
Most Outstanding Wrestler, Tanahashi. Again, not surprising.
Nope.
Biggest box office draw, The Rock won for the second year in a row.
Can't argue that.
Can't argue the fact that 1 million people bought WrestleMania.
Yeah. Well, more than a million.
More than 1 million, yeah, I know. But that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Feud of the Year. I cannot believe we did not mention this Feud of the Year when we did our video. Tanahashi versus Okada. I can't believe we forgot that one. That's a pretty important feud. Although you could argue that the big blow off didn't come till after 2012. Right. So but still, it was a very pretty damn good feud, and really got Okada over.
Yeah, sure did.
And Tag Team of the Year. I think it was you who picked Bad Influence.
Yep.
So and they won, and congratulations to them, and well deserved, I think, for Daniels and Kazarian.
Yeah. Getting the most out of what they could, I thought.
Exactly.
Really elevated Kazarian.
Absolutely. He improved a shitload this year.
And now Daniels is in the main event scene.
Hopefully.
On TV, so
yeah,
they definitely did a lot for themselves.
I agree. And I think a lot of that just came from them being themselves.
Yep.
Most improved, Justin, you called it, with Okada winning it, which I think everyone kind of saw coming.
Yeah, but they're just wondering if because he wasn't, he kind of came out of nowhere.
He literally was a nobody.
Yeah.
He was a teenage jobber, and he came back and became.
But it wasn't that he improved a lot in the ring, because he was always pretty good,
Yeah.
It was just he just came out of nowhere.
But I do think over the course of the year, though, not just from last year, this year, over the course of the year, he improved a lot.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
So. And you could tell from match to match.
He student of the game.
He gets it, and not only does he understand wrestling, beyond his years, I would say he understands the psychology portion. He's a very good athletic wrestler, and he has a lot of charisma, which he's the total package.
I love the character he is. That's a great character.
The Rainmaker.
The Rainmaker. That's cool. That's a great nickname. Best talker or best interviews. CM Punk won for the second year in a row.
Can't
called
argue
it.
Too much with that.
Yeah, I know. Most charismatic, The Rock won. I'm kind of iffy about that, because I'm not a huge fan of Rock's promos recently, just because I think he's been kind of
the reactions he gets are still
I'll give him
huge
that.
though.
Yeah.
So
And he is a charismatic guy, but I don't know if he's the best. But oh well. Best technical wrestler for the 8th year in a row. Daniel Bryan has won it.
he's got. They should just rename the award after him.
Yep,
You know?
I want to be. We got the Bruiser Brody award. Let's just make it the Bryan Daniel award.
Bryan
The what?
Danielson.
God damn it.
He's never
Daniel
even
Bryan
his name
award.
right.
Well, God damn it. And cut. Okay.
No, we're leaving that in.
Yeah,
Okay.
but well deserved.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, is there anyone who's, there's a lot of guys who are near the level of.
There's just not that many technical guys.
Yeah,
out there, you know?
it is kind of a lost art. I think you said it before.
And he's just like, everything he does is just so crisp. He's not like in terms of sloppiness, he's probably the least sloppy wrestler. One of the least sloppy wrestlers in the
I've
world.
very rarely seen him botch a move.
And when he does, he recovers like a.
He
like
makes
a
it
pro.
work, yeah.
He's just everything he does looks legit, and he does little things that make the moves look more legitimate too.
And another thing I like is that during like the feel out portion of matches, especially, or like when he's controlling the matches, it's not the same series of things.
Mm-hmm.
Some guys fall back on, okay, we're gonna tie up, headlock. I'm gonna grind the headlock in for a few minutes.
Mm-hmm.
He's working into different submissions and doing different things. So
Yeah, definitely one of the best in the world for sure. The Brawl of the Year was won by Steen for the 3rd year in a row.
well deserved.
Well deserved.
Yep.
There's few that are better at Steen than at brawling.
Very few.
Yeah. Oh, clearly none this year.
Yeah.
Flyer of the Year was won by Ibushi, which I think this year especially he deserved it, man. He had some absolutely spectacular matches.
And
Yeah.
he can do some crazy
Yeah,
stuff.
his matches with Kenny Omega, El Generico, and DDT were great. I mean, he's very, very
New
impressive.
Japan against
Loki,
Loki and
yeah.
Devitt.
Yeah.
And didn't him and Prince Devitt have a match too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Very good match. Very good wrestler. Most overrated was won by Ryback. Called that one.
Yeah, you called
That's fair.
I called that one.
It's fair. He's overrated.
Yeah. Most underrated was a guy we didn't forgot to mention. I thought about bringing him up, but Tyson Kidd.
He is underrated.
He's terribly underrated. Yeah.
And I will say right now though, it's kind of a good thing he won this award because I've looked at the past winners and like almost always after they win that award they get a pretty nice push. So hopefully when he comes back from his injury, WWE will get their shit together and give him a nice push.
Hopefully
Hopefully.
I see a lot of potential with him.
Oh, he can be Intercontinental champion.
And
no
before
question.
his push just suddenly ended because he had that match with Tenzai that just killed his push,
Yeah.
basically, he was getting a lot of positive response
people
from the
liked
crowd.
him.
So,
CM Punk put him over in a promo, so hopefully that gets him a nice little rub.
yep,
Promotion of the year, no surprise, New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Yeah.
I called that.
Yes, you did.
Definitely, worthy of that.
Yeah, Show of the year, kind of a gimme, went to Impact.
Yep.
Kind of. I don't think anyone's surprised by that. Good for them. They were pretty watchable for a while.
Yeah.
Now they're back to shit. So
It appears that way.
match of the year, Tanahashi versus Suzuki. You guys both called it.
Yeah.
I'll stand by my decision to pick Davey over in Elgin. So
I guess we're just going to fight about that one
I guess
forever.
Yeah, bring it on. Rookie of the year was won by a very unknown wrestler for me anyway.
Dynastia?
Dynastia.
I don't know.
Dynasty, I think, from AAA. Apparently, a few people like her a lot. I still think Touchdown deserved it more. He was in second place though, so. But good for her. I'd like to see some matches with her and see if she's any good.
I don't see a lot of AAA, but
No, me neither. Best non-wrestler, Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
No doubt
yeah,
about
that's
it.
fair.
Man.
That's definitely fitting.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he carried Brock Lesnar, for a while, and then he's done a very good job of working with Punk.
Yeah, he has.
And the fact that a lot of people said oh, why would you take Paul Heyman with CM Punk? Punk doesn't need him. It's like, well, Heyman brings something new to the table with Punk.
Yeah, it's interesting to see just their interactions because both guys can hold their own in promos, and it's like two kind of genius guys going.
Two mad scientists getting together and making
Yeah.
the ultimate Frankenstein.
Rather than just one guy dominant, rather than the manager just having a stupid wrestler that the manager just tells everything to do, it's like, they have good interaction.
Ryback could use a Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
Announcer of the year was won by JR.
I don't know if I agree with that one.
I don't. I do not.
He wasn't around that much, and I don't think
Exactly.
he's been on top of his game either.
No, he doesn't seem to. It just seems like he doesn't care as much as he used to.
Yeah. If anything, JBL was even better than him, I think.
Yeah, I think if it were up to me, it would either be JBL, Excalibur, or Nigel McDonald.
Nigel got second,
in
yes.
the voting. So.
Nigel did?
Yes, he
Yes.
did.
Oh, good.
Well deserved.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a shame, but you know, JR is probably the best commentator WWE's had, and like I think this award was more of a gimme to him. You know, like just rewarding JR for being back in WWE.
Yeah, because he needs more awards.
I guess. Worst of the year, worst announcer was won by Michael Cole for the I think like third time in a row.
Yeah, I don't think he was the absolute worst.
No,
this time.
he did not deserve it. He
Taz,
really
probably
improved.
Taz.
Yeah, Taz absolutely. Michael Cole was bad for a while, but then he started improving, and then after the Jerry Lawler heart attack, he really improved. Like he stopped being the douchebag heel. He started actually announcing the matches and doing a pretty good job of it.
Yeah, I'd still say he's not great, but he's not.
No, he's not great, but he's tolerable now.
Yeah.
Show of the year, King of Pro Wrestling, obviously.
Yep.
Yeah.
Worst show of the year was UFC 149.
I don't like them putting an MMA with.
Me neither. That's really especially because MMA like. You can't really judge that on it's a wrestling show because wrestling is put together by bookers and writers and
Well,
stuff.
the thing is, the booking
It's like
is
rating
actually very similar.
It's like rating a football game. I mean, you can say this game was better than that game, but it's
Right,
It's
that's
not,
the thing where,
it's
like-
not created to
Yeah.
be good. Like
Yeah.
it's
Right.
It's an
See, I don't
excellent
mind like when they say the Booker of the Year because you do book MMA fights a lot like wrestling matches.
Right.
Yeah.
You protect your best guys,
Mhm.
and you put them in there with guys that they might be able to beat sometimes, and sometimes, or you just put the two best guys that are going to draw the most money.
Yeah, that's what Dana White's good at. Second was Extreme Rising that Shane Douglas put together.
That's probably.
I have not seen it.
I haven't seen it,
I've
but
heard
it's
that
got
it was
I've
just
heard it. I heard
train-
it.
From what I've
train
seen on Botchamania, it had to be bad.
Yeah.
Shout out to Botchamania right there.
Yeah.
Move of the year was The Rainmaker.
Yeah. I think it's like a really over move,
Yeah.
and he did a good job of making it seem really over. And it's like once
He hits it
it's
pretty damn
over.
well too.
I don't think it's the best move of the year, though. I mean,
No,
To each his own.
nothing groundbreaking. I mean, it's a clothesline. I mean, it's
Yeah.
really over and well built, but it's
Mhm.
still a clothesline.
Yeah, it's a very nice clothesline though.
Mhm.
I mean, but it's not like the clothesline from hell or like the jawbreaker lariat.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's a nice clothesline. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, Okada versus Nigel in a battle of lariats. Who do you think would win that match?
Well, lariat. Well, I call him lariat. Nigel can't even throw him anymore.
Yeah,
so
I know.
Yeah.
Shit, too bad. I know. I'm just shooting the shit. Most disgusting promotional tactic was the Jerry Lawler heart attack, showing footage of that, and then CM Punk and Paul Heyman cutting a promo on it.
That was pretty bad, but
Yeah, I'm of the opinion if it was I hated them showing footage of Lawler being revived in the back. I hated that.
I just felt like that. I think that's what the main problem was.
Yeah.
I just didn't like them exploiting it like
the
that.
Who told them to keep?
Yeah,
Yeah,
why
why
the
did they
fuck
film
were
it?
they filming it? That's the first question. Like, why the fuck are you
Yeah.
filming this? A man was dead and you're filming it? Why? Like, maybe it was for insurance purposes or some shit or
Maybe.
whatever. But I'd like to know the excuse for why they were filming that.
And then, but filming is one, and then actually showing it. Things
Yeah,
you to
oh my
show
God,
it.
man. And then
That's
just-
dumb.
That's the thing. They must have thought, well, if he lives, we'll show it, and if he dies, we.
And like I said,
What are
Lawler
you
apparently
doing?
approved all this stuff, but still, it doesn't make it any
Of course,
better.
he's
He's not gonna-
after the fact.
He's not
Yeah.
gonna say no.
I know. But, and the promo, Punk and Heyman didn't need to do that,
No,
It was.
just
No.
bad taste, I guess.
Yeah. Worst show was Raw, which we all called, and I
Yeah.
think
Deserved it.
yeah,
Well deserved.
well deserved, I think. Yeah, hopefully they pick their shit up. Worst worked match was Cena versus John Laurinaitis.
I have to agree with that.
Definitely.
I agree.
Hated it.
I think more or less the reason that deserves to win that is because it was the main event of a show over Daniel Bryan versus CM Punk.
Yeah, and
How the
it
fuck?
just
Anyway,
it didn't even work for the type of match they were going for.
No.
Like I didn't even know what they were doing. It was like
It
supposed
was-
to
it was
be comedic, and then
it was comedy, and then then John Laurinaitis gets
Went on
started
forever.
beating up Cena.
Yeah.
well, that's the thing. It was like
Oh,
comedic, but then they actually like started trying to have a match. I don't even know. It was awful.
And then Big Show waited to tell the end, of course,
Yeah,
to come out
Jesus
and
Christ.
do
it
that.
was just
Like,
a mess of a
ugh,
match.
okay.
Awful.
Awful. Worst feud: Kane versus John Cena.
It was a bad feud.
Pretty
I don't know if it was the
terrible.
worst.
Maybe not.
Well, it had some shit, and it buried Ryder. pretty hard.
Burying Ryder was maybe the worst. Aspect
I don't
of
know. I could argue that like the Claire Lynch feud was worse just because it was just so god awful.
And the AJ and Vicky.
Yeah,
Yep.
there's a lot. I think there's a lot worse. I think Kane and Cena was probably one of the most just like pointless. I
It
think.
shouldn't
Kane
have been
just
the main
always-
event feud.
Absolutely.
Definitely not.
Kane just always seems to win the Wrestling Observer.
Yeah,
feud.
that's
Not
kind
always
of
deservedly, but
that's his award. I think.
he has been in some shit feuds. that's
Yeah,
for
he
sure.
has.
Yeah.
Really ashamed too. Worst promotion was won by TNA.
No.
I don't agree with that.
Yeah, I think TNA, like, they did a lot of things right. They did a lot of dumb shit. Like, you know, they had a lot of momentum and then they ruined it. But
I still think overall it was a good year, though.
yeah,
I'd say
they
it
had a
was.
good year. I mean, they had a lot of things. They won a lot of awards. You know, they had best television show. That's a plus.
I don't know who was all. I don't know who was all up for this award, but
Well,
I
ROH was second.
I agree with that. I think
Yeah.
that they should have won.
Mhm.
I think that their year was just really. They moved backwards. They
Yeah.
didn't move forward at all.
I was figuring out, like, it was going along all right up until after Best in the World, and then, like, Boiling Point and Death Force Honor just really sank the company to an all-time low.
Mhm.
And
People were turning.
yeah,
against
people
it
were
before that.
people were like saying
They
like,
still couldn't get their pay-per-views right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That was when people were turning away
Yep.
and just were furious.
I think the thing that may have saved ROH from a lot of people's like being the worst promotion was the fact that they pulled it out of the water so fast. Like Glory Bonner hit and like instantly like they're up on top. They're like back on their way up top. So I think that might have been like what saved a lot it from being.
Yeah, I
voted
think
worst.
that they ended the year on a better note than TNA did.
Yeah.
And I think that
Was-
had a lot to do
Was
with
the
it.
NWA in
Uh,
there because they might have been up
I
there?
don't remember, but I know CCW was up there.
CZW always.
Yeah,
was
CCW was always up there. Best Booker was the two gentlemen from New Japan Pro Wrestling, Jado and
Jado and Ghetto.
Ghetto. Thank you.
Very
well deserved. Yeah.
Yeah,
They
very
booked
well.
the shit, and if you win Best Feud, you pretty much deserve Best Booker. I think.
Well, not only that, but they're doing what so many people cannot do is building new stars. They know how to get new talent over.
Structuring a card right.
And also making when people are out of like the main event, having these little feuds and matches that still make them feel important.
Right.
That's one of the problems with other companies. Is like they'll just put a guy in mid card hell and they'll just be having
WWE.
random meaningless shit matches and stuff. So.
Yeah. Promoter of the Year was won by Dana White. Not
I don't
surprising.
know. Yeah, I don't know how to comment on that just because I don't watch UFC.
Hey, you
but-
can't.
They're still growing. They're all over the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. They're pulling in a lot of money.
And plus, they've had to face adversity with a lot of guys leaving or being injured and stuff. So
I didn't mean to give UFC a
The only
try.
thing is about UFC is that it's a lot easier to make a star because these are guys that are just
Tough
working
some-
their
yeah,
ass
yeah.
off every day to make themselves. You know.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
and I mean, there is like it's basically a guy who will get over mainly on his fighting skill. There is like
Right,
charisma,
there's-
but like
There's not as much politics.
Right.
You know. With
It's like
pro
you
wrestling, you
fight
could be
well.
the best wrestler in the world, and
Yeah.
no one might know your name. I mean, Daniel Bryan. You look at him. People didn't know his name back in '06. You know,
Mhm.
we did.
Yeah.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
most people didn't.
hmm
Okay. Best Gimmick was won by Joseph Parks. Okay, I'm gonna say this right now. I'm pretty sure that this Joseph Parks thing is a joke that everyone in the world is in on, and we just have we don't get
they're
it.
doing it to us.
Yeah, like I don't get it. I don't get why people
What it-
love this character so
No,
much.
like, and it's not that I don't get the storyline.
Yeah,
Don't-
yeah.
People that act like, oh no, this is what's happening. No, I know what's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is it entertaining?
Exactly. Like let me say right now, as far as like a wrestler acting like a non-wrestler, he's doing a pretty damn good job.
That's what I'll say is like
yeah.
he's good at playing the part.
Yeah.
It's just that the part
And-
isn't worth playing.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. It's like and like they stretch it out for so long, just like get to the fucking punchline already,
Yeah.
and just he is entertaining, but just I don't know if Best Gimmick is worthy of.
I don't know if it's really even
Yeah.
gimmick.
But like people like go ape shit over this. Like people love the Bully Ray and Joseph Parks feud. It's like
And the thing
I
is,
did
people-
like that, but after that, it was
People
just-
loved it from the beginning, though, and I remember the first time I saw Abyss.
I thought it was
I was
funny.
like, "That's Abyss with his mask off. What is happening here?" Like I just thought they just like.
It was like so out there that it was funny.
Yeah.
at the beginning, and then it just
I've never seen anyone lose their mask like that. Just
Yeah.
show up.
Hey, how's it
as
going?
someone else.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm someone else entirely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just, yeah.
Well, worst gimmick of the year was one that well deserved. Aces and Eights. Thank God that someone acknowledged the fact that it's a shitty gimmick.
That's pretty funny because I I saw a lot of people that picked that as the best. That people loved it. A lot of TNA fans loved them.
Well, they're fucking idiots then.
Well,
I'm sorry. It's a fucking bust. This feud, this gimmick, it needs to end quickly.
Yeah,
I'm
and
ready
it's
for
not
it to
good.
pass.
I'm ready for this thing to be ejected from TNA like a used condom.
Ejected?
Just get the
How do you do that?
Just throw it away.
Little ejector button.
Please, is in order.
Okay, that's not PG.
Yeah.
I didn't say
Okay.
this was a PG channel.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Okay. Just throw the fucking thing away. Get rid of that gimmick quickly. Best book was Shooters, the toughest men in pro wrestling. I haven't heard a thing about this. I don't even know who it was written by.
I don't know. I only read older books, so.
Yeah, I don't know.
Unless if Haku's not in that book, then it's obviously not accurate. And DVD of the year was won by CM Punk's Best in the World DVD. Well deserved. A lot of people didn't vote for Nigel DVD, which is a criminal shame.
I don't think a lot of people had seen it.
That's the problem.
Yeah, didn't come out in time.
And it was such a limited thing too. So
I will say though, having seen both, I did think the Punk one was a superior DVD, personally. But they're both very great.
I think Nigel's was a better story and a better. I think Nigel's was a better like DVD because it was a better documentary about like a story and like one that even non-wrestling fans can enjoy. The CM Punk one is just like it's pretty awesome, like how much like bullshit he dealt with and made it to the top. But I think it's really aimed for wrestling fans. While the Nigel one could be enjoyed by anyone.
I agree. I thought that they were both great, of course, but I think that something should be said for Nigel when we're talking about a company that's made countless DVDs. They make movies. They've been around forever in WWE, so this is what they do.
Yeah, exactly.
And Nigel did this alone, by himself.
Yeah.
You know, he learned how to do it.
I don't remember.
Cut
You
everything.
gotta respect the effort.
Do you know what the
Yes.
second place in one was? I know Nigel didn't get a lot of votes just because like so
I don't
few.
think did they list it? I don't know.
I thought they did. I don't know. I can't remember. I think Nigel got a few votes, but not a lot. But just again, not a lot of people had seen the DVD, which is too bad.
Which should. It's very good.
It's a very good DVD. We did a review for it last week, and we still support that DVD entirely.
Definitely go out of your way to see it.
Absolutely, and actually buy the CM
Buy
Punk
it.
buy the CM Punk DVD too. That's a really good one too. Very good story. All right, that will wrap it up for this.
Whoa.
Whoa. Okay.
There's one more thing we would
Oh,
like to
we
talk about.
Okay.
And that is that this coming Saturday, I believe, is
It's
February 2nd.
I completely forgot. Yes.
And February 2nd is National Pro Wrestling Day.
Yes,
the
it is.
first annual, I believe. I don't
Yes.
know, hopefully it's annual.
It should be. It's a national pro wrestling. It's a national day holiday
It
now.
could be biannual. I don't know.
Okay.
But I guess it'll depend on how well we support it. And we just ask you guys to go out of your way and trying to be a part of it.
Yeah.
If you're around Philadelphia.
Yeah, it's a free show done by multiple.
Actually, no, I believe it's $10.
No, it's free admission.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
It's either free or $10.
Yeah. Okay. It's either free or it's $10.
It's inexpensive.
I know that the pay-per-view costs money.
But that's for even if it's 10, $15, it's an all-day thing.
Yes.
Multiple
Two shows.
promotions.
Yes. Multiple promotions.
Got
ROH. Evolve will be there. Wrestling is fun. Like a lot of them are like more smaller independent companies, but
A wide variety
yes.
of different types of promotions.
It's kind of going to be like a platform for a lot of smaller places to get out there and kind of show everybody their take on wrestling.
Yes.
You know, because wrestling really is an art and it's subjective, and let's see how these other promotions want to display it.
Yes.
The
And
alternatives.
A lot of people don't like, what's most readily available. They can find an alternative that they do like.
So yeah, I would recommend everyone go out there. If you can't afford it, don't spend your last penny on it. But hey, if you can afford it and you want to watch some wrestling and you're a fan who's who's looking for a new promotion, this might be a very good way for you to find some smaller promotion that deserve your effort and deserve your money.
Definitely,
which we
check
always
it out.
encourage.
But if you can, buy the pay-per-views and you got to remember this is good to support the younger guys, the guys that aren't making millions of dollars yet,
Mm-hmm.
So support the guys that aren't the primetime players.
Yes. Okay. But yes, we will. I hope maybe that we can check it out. I don't know. I might not buy it. I'm kind of broke right now, so.
I'm gonna buy it to
There you
support
go.
our pro wrestling friends.
Yes.
Support pro wrestling. Support local wrestling.
Yeah. And if you can't buy the iPay, just watch the wrestling DVD or whatever. National Pro Wrestling Day.
Yeah, at least celebrate.
Yeah, celebrate. Watch some wrestling.
Make it-
Go close on your siblings, or something.
No, don't do that.
Okay, don't do that. All right, but I'll post a link below for where you can go order the pay-per-views, and if you are in the local area, go see it. Go have some fun, go meet some wrestlers and shake their hands.
Philadelphia.
Yes, in Philly, city of brotherly love. All right, that'll wrap it up for this episode of Running the Ropes. Take care, guys. Bye.